In the 70th episode of the A.S.A.P Tech News, we talk about the latest Logitech mechanical keyboards, AKASA announces a new CPU cooler, Zalman launches a new liquid CPU cooler series, and G.Skill announces a new DDR RAM kits with lower timings. We start with Logitech and the new G413 mechanical gaming keyboards. I use the word keyboards because there are two models sharing the same name. A regular G413 and a TKL G413, both using the same simple all-black design with little to no gaming features, and by that I mean over-the-top RGB and graphics splattered everywhere. These keyboards are made with performance in mind. The keycaps are made to be resistant to wear and to have the symbols withstand the test of time. While the G413 look like a basic keyboard, they are not. The top plate is made from an aluminum magnesium alloy that also has a brushed texture on the top. This is often reserved to the high-end models from the keyboard gaming range, and usually it comes with a hefty price increase. The G413 uses tactile mechanical switches. These have an actuation force of 50 grams and a total travel distance of 4 mm. In terms of illumination, these keyboards only have white LED illumination, so no RGB or any possibility of customizing the illumination. You either get it in white or you get nothing. We continue with AKASA and the new Alucia H4 CPU cooler, a brand new CPU cooler that retails for around 49.99 euros, but that will depend on the location that you are buying. The Alucia H4 is a single tower CPU cooler that uses a single 120mm fan for its active cooling and 4 heat pipes to move the heat through the cooling fins of the heatsink. This CPU cooler has a TDP rating of 185 watts and should be able to handle an Intel i7 with a mild overclock. However, that will depend on a lot of external factors, case airflow, voltage of the CPU, and so on. Other features found on this CPU cooler include a direct touch heat pipe design, silicone pads on the corners of the fan frame to dampen vibrations, and an all-black design on both the heatsink, heat pipes, and the included 120mm fan. Next, Zalman has introduced the Alpha series of all-in-one liquid CPU coolers. These new models features what Zalman calls a triple flow pump. This pump is designed to have 3 independent cooling flow pads. This is said to prevent pump overload and reduce the residual flow in the pump chamber. The Alpha series uses a copper-made baseplate and a perforated design on the top side of the CPU water block. This cooler series will be available in 2 colors, white and black, and several radiator sizes. This includes the classics 240, 280 and 360mm dimensions, among others. Weirdly enough, both the 120mm and the 140mm fans used on these CPU coolers have the same RPM range, between 500 and 1800 RPM. I said weirdly because usually larger fans can spin slower and be quieter while having the same performance. However, with these CPU coolers, Zalman decides otherwise. The Zalman Alpha series should be available for purchase pretty soon, but no pricing has been revealed as of today. And finally, G.Skill is the first company to announce a low latency DDR5 RAM kit, a thing that was deemed far away from reality by many. However, here it is as a real object. The kit showcased by G.Skill is part of the Trident Z5 series, and it is running at 6400 MHz and has a CL32 timing with a total capacity of 40 GB in a 2x16 configuration. However, there is one small caveat with this RAM kit. It runs by default at 1.4 volts. That is quite high for not the RAM itself, but for the CPU and the CPU memory controller. This RAM kit is already available for purchase, but given the state of the market, I'd say that you should wait just a little bit more before you buy it, because stocks might get better in the future. And this is the end of the episode number 70 of the A.S.A.P Tech News, one of the few tech news series which aims to deliver you the news as fast as possible for your convenience.